Hello again. It's not a bother at all. I've honestly been enjoying the company. So, should I resume where we left off? Let's see. Oh yes, we had just arrived on New Atlantis. Back to New Atlantis.
Hey, Bosco. Let me guess. Protocol Indigo again?
What is Protocol Indigo?
I can assure you, this unprovoked attack on a United Colonies research facility did not...
Let's see, Constellation headquarters. There's rumors of it being in the residential district.
Here we are, the lodge. The front door should unlock if you hold up. It is foolish to carry so many items on your own.
Is that what this watch thing's for?
All the phenomenons. We appear to have a visitor.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
Hyrit's attacked. Barrett asked me to deliver the artifact.
I see. Bosco, verify.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Rude.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you this rockbreaker here would be halfway to Neon.
Did he just call me Rockbreaker?
But that didn't happen. She's here, with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything?
I'm not so sure I can trust these people yet. How many times has this happened? Who else has had these visions?
We think it's anyone else who pulls one out of the rock for the first time. Why? We're not sure yet. So if you wouldn't mind adding another data point.
I really don't want to talk about this. That thing almost killed me.
So something did happen. Barrett mentioned a loss of consciousness last time he found an artifact.
Why are these people so obsessed with this artifact?
Whether it happened or not wasn't in doubt. But honestly, Country, if you expect us to believe in fairy tales...
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But gentlemen, can we please focus? Noelle, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only 2 of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That
What
energy
the-
that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves...
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Country?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting, now would it?
What are these things?
But what are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours?
How much do you know about the artifacts? What are they?
Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal. Another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space. As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
Wait, you want me and Constellation? What does that even mean? What's expected?
We're all here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown. Beyond that, you'll be expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us.
All right, I'm in. Tell me what happens next.
You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us. In addition to credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
Well, I suppose that station in orbit has more than paid for itself at this point.
Not gonna lie, Walter Stroud seemed exactly how I thought he would be. Greedy.
Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line.
You think? I suppose I've been called worse?
Still doesn't excuse it. My frustrations lie more with Barrett. Not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard.
Glad to be here.
By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the Lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
What's your role in Constellation?
Me? Why, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
What kind of company is Stroud Eklund?
We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days.
This isn't where I'd expect to see a CEO.
Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the Lodge home, as much as anywhere else. Until next time.
Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo. Theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us.
He seems really nice. What brought you to Constellation?
Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
What do you make of the visions we've seen?
I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but, you know, if the label fits.
All I know is I've never experienced anything like it.
That sure lines up with everything else about these artifacts. It's all connected. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts.
And these artifacts all came out of caves?
Second one was on Kazal, buried, the same as the one you found.
But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
Take care of yourself.
After meeting those two, I decided it was time to talk to Sarah and Noel again.
That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noel. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
You seem to know a lot about these artifacts.
Oh, gosh. No, I mean, that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us.
I was wondering about other types of exploration work besides the artifacts.
Of course, there's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet.
The vision I saw, what do you think that was?
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something, an energy surge, some other phenomenon.
Barrett saw something too?
He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett. We weren't sure if he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't.
Whatever I saw and heard, it wasn't coming from me.
Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people report in these situations. I'm not saying you didn't really see anything, just that it's really hard to determine after the fact. It's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
How long have you been working on all this?
Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now. But we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this.
Just let me know how I can help you learn more.
Well, right now nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition. I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're gonna be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Organic stuff. Got it.
There's a galaxy chock full of resources. The more data I have, the more thorough an analysis I can do. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep.
Sarah said something about a place for me to stay.
Planning on sticking? I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour. Sebastian Banks, Constellation's founder, had this place built decades ago. It was a big to-do at the time, but most people in the city have forgotten we're here.
I have to admit, at this point I was pretty intimidated at the thought of joining Constellation. They all seemed so knowledgeable, and I was, at the time, well, not. I'd always wanted to be an explorer though, so turning down the opportunity seemed foolish. I decided I'd give it a few weeks. If I didn't like it, or it felt too dangerous, I could call it quits.
So this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself. Within reason, of course. Now let's see about that room. You're in luck. We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I'd better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy!
Thank you, Noelle. I appreciate the help. I guess this is where I'll be calling home from now on. I'll go ahead and unpack my stuff, and then go see what Sarah has for me.
So, are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else?
No, I'm ready.
We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are. I've been letting my contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually, but a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising.
The UC Vanguard?
A volunteer force that helps defend the edges of United Colonies space. They're always looking for recruits. Lots of retired veterans and dangerous professionals mixed in with part-timers who barely have a laser cannon welded to a hull. My contact is in the recruiting office, so he hears a lot about what the volunteers are up to.
I have to admit, I'm excited. It's my first mission.
Felt the same way when I started, too. There's an electricity in the air when you know you're about to uncover something. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
What do I get out of this anyway? Does Constellation have a salary?
You mean besides the ship, the robot, and a place to stay all rent-free? We do have some funds we can disperse from time to time. Not to mention, I think we can get you a proper suit. We're explorers. We keep a lot of equipment on hand for that purpose. So the more you work with us, the more we can share what we have.
Got it. You and me until we get the artifact.
We'll need to head to Mast. Check in with the Vanguard recruiting office where my contact works. And listen, whatever you were before, or whatever you do once you're out there, I don't care. So long as you don't bring UC security to our doorstep. Every member of Constellation is their own conscience. Understood?
Wait, what do you mean? You don't care if I steal as long as I don't get caught?
I mean, Constellation has a roster of members who haven't always been on the right side of their respective society. We're risk takers. Some of us have seen the inside of a jail cell more than once. If you join us, it means you're committed to our mission. In exchange, we give you latitude in your choice of means.
Well, that sounds reckless. An organization should have rules.
Those are the rules. Advance humanity's knowledge to the best of your ability. As long as you do that, I'm not here to judge you. Now, let's you and I get over to Mast.
I can't lie. What Sarah had said put some doubts in my head, but I respected the fact that she understood the cost of exploration. There were many times my mom and dad had to do some not so optimal things. I suppose what matters in the long run is why you're doing them. I decided to put my thoughts to bed and went to see the UC recruiter.
Sarah, another space explorer. Hey, you ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, earn some credits, even get your UC citizenship?
Wait, I was born in the UC. I'm not a citizen already?
Oh, sorry, but no. UC citizenship is all earned based on service. They should have covered this in your civic lessons. Go figure.
Maybe later. We have Constellation business to discuss first.
All right. Can't blame me for trying, right? I mean, I still haven't given up on getting Sarah to re-enlist.
It's a game we play. He asks, I say no.
Here's what I got for you two. Vanguard volunteer by the name of Moira. Helps patrol the old neighborhood. Sol, Mars, Neptune, you know.
The Sol system? Which admiral did he upset to get that posting?
He's Martian, born and raised. Not like I can get anyone else to care. Word is he's got some fancy metal ornament he's been showing off to the old grounders. Matches that description Sarah gave me.
Who's this Moira?
Oh, he goes way back. Think he was recruit number 81 or something.
Wait, what's wrong with the Sol system?
You kidding? Lowest posting request rate in the whole fleet. Only thing there the UC cares about is Mars. And no one wants to go to Mars. They want to get off Mars.
We'll talk to him. I'm sure we can make him a good offer for it.
Sol system is a lot of planets, but a vet like Moira will be checking in at Cydonia on the regular.
You mean hitting the bars, don't you, John?
Hey, nothing wrong with a little refresh between patrols.
Is there anything you can tell me about Cydonia?
Yeah, bring a coloring book. You get so used to seeing red, you'll forget what blues and greens look like.
Did Moira say where he found this ornament of his?
You'll have to ask him. But Vanguard volunteers have retrieval rights if they get into a scrap. Wouldn't be surprised if he found it off of a pirate or something like that.
Thanks for all your help, John.
Anything for Sarah. UC always takes care of its own. Even the prodigal children.
Oh, brother.
I'm serious about that recruitment offer, by the way. You just come talk to me when you're ready. UC is a good friend to have.
Thanks, John. I'll keep it in mind. With all the help that John gave us, me and Sarah decided it was best to head straight to Cydonia and see what more we could find there. I won't lie, as soon as we got to Cydonia, I understood why it had a negative reputation. The place felt like a wasteland on the surface. I was curious to see the types of people we'd find inside the city. We did as John suggested and hit the bars, hoping one of the bartenders would have known anything about Moira.
Not everyone got cold beer.
I'm looking for a Vanguard named Moira.
He ain't been around. Went off on patrol. Hasn't been back in since.
We could track him down if you knew his patrol route.
Believe me, I've heard it. After about round 3 or 4, look, nothing more I'd love than to help out a fellow Martian.
He has a tab, and you don't know if he's coming back.
It's a lot of credits, okay? I'll let it slide for a long time because he's a regular, but...
He can need help. How can you put a price on that?
Come on. Life on Cydonia ain't hard enough. You gonna guilt trip me?
What matters to you more, the money or Moira's life?
Yeah, I get your point.
What if we're the only ones who can find him?
And maybe he's not gonna get found. I'm out the cash either way.
Please just tell me so that we can get out of your hair.
You're just annoying enough that this might work. All right, I give up. Just trying to earn a living here. Last time he was here, Moira kept yelling about the Lady of Love, singing songs.
Venus? That's only one planet.
I got what I got, okay?
Fine. We'll make do.
With the newfound knowledge of where Moira might be, Sarah and I knew exactly what we needed to do. And where we needed to go. We weren't really prepared for what was waiting for us, though.
Hello, what do we have here? See that cluster of ships? Varun Zealots. You ever run into one? Completely devoted to a deity they call the Great Serpent, the devourer of the unbelievers. I'll let you guess what happens if they spot us.
Why are Varun Zealots out here near Venus?
No idea. They appear and attack people seemingly at random. House Varun technically has diplomatic ties to the other factions, but the Zealots are outside of their control. Or so they say.
Do you see Vanguard Moira's ship anywhere?
No other ship readings in the area. And I I doubt they'd be so calm if a Vanguard had flown by recently.
I highly doubt they know where our Vanguard is.
No, but I think I see something else that might. There's a UC satellite beacon hovering distressingly close to those Varun ships. If we can get close enough to it, we could download its logs and figure out where our Vanguard was heading to next.
So we need to get to that beacon without being attacked.
Exactly. Minimal ship power, go slow. We grab the data on that satellite and jump away.
I was nervous. Being new to piloting, I wasn't confident that I was going to be able to do this. But my anxiety only drove me forward. As terrified as I was, it was somehow exhilarating.
Oh, great serpent, bless this communion that we may walk in Janan Verun's footsteps. That he jumped from the Sol system out into the beyond and touched your magnificence. That he learned the truth of the shrouding, becoming eternal embrace.
I tried to use some of the asteroids to cover our ship so they wouldn't spot us.
And cast the accursed into shadow.
It was so disorienting being that close to the asteroids. I kept bumping into them, and I was convinced we were going to get spotted. Finally, the satellite was in clear range. I went carefully forward. I don't think I breathed the entire time. We had succeeded. Now, to make sure we could get out.
Yeah, I know. The whole place is decommissioned. And I need parts for emergency repairs. Hopefully it hasn't been picked clean yet.
Oh, that's not good. Earth and everything around it was abandoned a long time ago. And the old star yards are crawling with spacers and other scavengers.
Yeah, and I was shook for a long while afterwards. Varun zealots aren't known for their hospitable nature. That part of the story is quite long. Let's go over that tomorrow night. Tell you what, meet me by the fountain in the middle of New Atlantis tomorrow. We can talk about it there. I'm a little burnt out of eating at this cute little cafe, even if the food's pretty good. Great. Until tomorrow, then. See you.
It's all ancient history now, but the Earth lost its atmosphere. It started sputtering out into space. Humanity had about 50 years to evacuate the planet. That's kind of how the United Colonies government started, managing the exodus.
Two steps in and we're already looking at a corpse.
This is Vanguard Moira. Sorry if I had to reclaim some UC property, but this whole star yard is overrun. I've patched up my ship, and I'm heading to Neptune.